Once upon a time, in a small, quiet village nestled between green hills, there lived a young girl named Neela. Neela came from a poor family, and though she had big dreams, her family couldn't afford to send her to a fancy school. She studied in the village school where lessons were taught in her local language, but Neela always dreamed of speaking English fluently, like the people she saw on TV. One day, while walking home from school, she met an old woman sitting by the side of the road. The woman noticed the books Neela was carrying and asked, "What do you want to become when you grow up?" "I want to be a teacher," Neela replied, her eyes shining. "But to do that, I must improve my English." The old woman smiled kindly and said, "You don't need fancy schools to learn English. You just need determination and practice. I'll tell you a secret: start small, learn a little every day, and you will improve." Inspired by the old woman's words, Neela began her journey to learn English. She started by picking up small things around her house and saying their names in English. Table, chair, door, window, she repeated every day until she could remember them all. Next, she borrowed an old radio from her neighbor that played English news and songs. Though she didn't understand much at first, she listened carefully. Whenever she heard a new word, she wrote it down and looked up its meaning in a small dictionary her teacher had given her. Neela also started speaking to herself in English, using simple sentences like, "My name is Neela and I am going to school." Every morning, she would practice in front of the mirror, pretending to talk to someone. As months passed, Neela became more confident. She began talking to her friends in English, even though they laughed at her mistakes sometimes. But Neela didn't give up. She knew that making mistakes was part of learning. She continued practicing every day. One day, the village school announced that there would be a public speaking contest, and students were encouraged to give speeches in English. Neela was nervous, but she remembered what the old woman had told her: with determination, she could achieve anything. On the day of the contest, Neela stood in front of the crowd, her hands shaking. But as she spoke, the words she had practiced so many times flowed naturally. She gave a simple speech about her village, her dreams, and how she learned English. The audience listened carefully, impressed by her courage and effort. After she finished, there was a moment of silence, and then the crowd burst into applause. Neela couldn't believe it, she had done it. She had spoken English in front of everyone. From that day on, Neela's confidence soared. She continued to learn, practice, and improve her English. Her village teachers even asked her to help younger students with their English lessons. Eventually, Neela grew up and became a teacher, just as she had always dreamed. She taught English to children from the village, reminding them that no matter how poor or small their beginnings, with hard work and determination, they too could achieve their dreams. And so, Neela's story became an inspiration to everyone in the village, proving that where there is a will, there is a way. Once upon a time in the serene village of Suryapur, nestled between lush green hills and flowing rivers, there lived a young girl named Neela. Her home was a modest hut with thatched roofs, and her family struggled to make ends meet. Neela was the eldest of 3 siblings and took on many responsibilities at a young age. Despite the challenges, she was a bright and determined girl with dreams that reached far beyond the confines of her small village. Neela had always been fascinated by the world beyond her village. She loved to listen to the stories her grandmother told about distant lands and different cultures. One day, as she sat by the riverbank, she overheard a group of travelers speaking English. The rhythm and flow of the language enchanted her, and she felt a burning desire to speak English herself. She imagined herself traveling to far-off places, meeting people, and sharing her own stories in English. Unfortunately, Neela's family could not afford to send her to an English school. The village school offered only basic education in their native language. Undeterred, Neela decided to take matters into her own hands. She knew that learning English would not be easy, but she was determined to try. Neela started her quest by borrowing old newspapers and magazines from the village library. They were filled with English words and phrases that were unfamiliar to her. She began to learn these words by writing them down in a notebook and using them in sentences. Neela also started a small garden where she grew herbs and vegetables. She named each plant in English and practiced speaking to them every day. One afternoon, while walking home from the village market, Neela met an elderly woman who was sitting under a large banyan tree. The woman was selling colorful woven baskets and looked wise and kind. Neela approached her and asked, "Excuse me, could you tell me how I can learn to speak English?" The old woman, whose name was Mira, looked at Neela with a twinkle in her eye and said, "Learning a new language requires patience and practice. But remember, it's not just about learning words, it's about using them. I can help you with that." Mira agreed to teach Neela a few basic English phrases and encourage her to practice speaking. They began meeting regularly under the banyan tree, where Mira would teach Neela simple sentences and common expressions. They practiced conversations about everyday topics, how to greet someone, ask for directions, and introduce themselves. Mira also gave Neela small English books to read, starting with stories for children. Despite her enthusiasm, Neela struggled at first. She felt nervous and self-conscious when speaking in English, especially since her friends often teased her about her mistakes. But Mira's encouragement and the progress she saw in herself kept her going. She practiced diligently, speaking to herself in front of a mirror, reading aloud, and even trying to communicate with travelers who passed through the village. One day, as Neela was practicing her English by the river, she overheard a conversation about a national speech competition for students. The competition invited participants to deliver a speech in English about their dreams and aspirations. Neela's heart raced with excitement. This could be her chance to show how much she had learned. Determined, Neela began preparing her speech. She wrote about her village, her dreams, and the importance of education. She practiced every day, rehearsing her speech in front of Mira and her family. Despite the pressure and fear of making mistakes in front of a large audience, Neela remained focused and committed. The day of the competition arrived, and the village school sent Neela as their representative. As she stood in front of a large audience in the city, her hands trembled. She took a deep breath and began her speech. Her voice shook at first, but as she continued, she grew more confident. The words flowed more easily, and she felt a sense of accomplishment with every sentence. The judges listened intently, impressed by Neela's heartfelt speech and clear pronunciation. When she finished, there was a moment of silence, followed by enthusiastic applause. Neela had done it. She had delivered her speech in English, and it was well received. The following week, the results of the competition were announced. Neela had won first place, earning recognition for her hard work and dedication. The news spread throughout the village, and everyone celebrated her achievement. Neela was awarded a scholarship to attend an English language course in a nearby town. With the scholarship, Neela continued her English studies, and her skills improved even further. She made new friends, learned about different cultures, and gained confidence. She also continued to help her village, teaching English to younger children and sharing her experiences with them. Years later, Neela returned to Suryapur as a successful teacher. She opened a small school where children from the village could learn English and other subjects. Her story inspired many, and she became a beacon of hope for those who dreamed of a brighter future. Neela's journey from a small village girl to a confident English teacher showed that with determination, perseverance, and a little help from those around us, even the biggest dreams can come true. And so, the girl who once dreamed of speaking English became a source of inspiration for her entire village, proving that the power of dreams and hard work can change lives. Once upon a time in the heart of the lush countryside of Suryapur, there lived a young girl named Neela. Suryapur was a picturesque village, surrounded by rolling hills and verdant fields. The villagers led simple lives, working the land and tending to their small homes. Neela's family was among the poorest in the village. They lived in a modest hut made of clay and straw, and each day was a struggle to make ends meet. Neela was the eldest of 3 children. Her father was a farmer, and her mother took care of the household. Despite their hardships, Neela was a bright and curious girl. Her favorite times were the quiet evenings when her grandmother would tell her stories of distant lands and people who spoke in a language Neela did not understand, English. These stories sparked a dream in Neela's heart. She wanted to learn English and explore the world beyond her village. The local school in Suryapur offered only basic education in the native language, and Neela's family could not afford extra lessons. But Neela was determined. She began by teaching herself English using old newspapers and magazines she found in the village library. She copied down English words and phrases and looked up their meanings in a small dictionary. As she practiced, Neela's English began to improve, but she struggled with pronunciation and confidence. One day, while she was practicing her English by reading out loud in front of her hut, an elderly woman named Meera walked by. Meera was known in the village for her wisdom and kindness. She noticed Neela's efforts and stopped to listen. "You're practicing English, young one?" Meera asked with a warm smile. Neela nodded shyly. "Yes, I want to learn English, but it's hard without anyone to help me." Meera's eyes twinkled. Learning a new language is like planting a seed. It takes time and care, but it grows. "I can help you with your English." Overjoyed, Neela began meeting Meera every day after school. They would sit under the large banyan tree near the village well, where Meera taught Neela basic English phrases and helped her practice speaking. They would read simple English books together, and Meera encouraged Neela to write short stories in English. The old woman's patient guidance and gentle encouragement made a world of difference to Neela. However, learning English was not without its challenges. Neela faced many obstacles, from teasing classmates to a lack of resources. Her friends often laughed at her mistakes, and the village's limited access to English materials made it difficult for her to practice. But Neela's determination kept her going. She knew that to achieve her dream, she had to persevere. One day, Meera shared exciting news with Neela. There was an upcoming national speech competition for students, and participants were invited to deliver speeches in English. Neela's heart raced with both excitement and anxiety. The thought of speaking in front of a large audience was daunting, but she saw it as an opportunity to prove herself. Neela worked tirelessly on her speech. She wrote about her village, her dreams, and the value of education. Meera helped her refine the speech, ensuring that it was clear and compelling. Neela practiced every day, rehearsing in front of her family and even to the cows and chickens in her yard. Her confidence grew, and so did her fluency. On the day of the competition, Neela traveled to the city with Meera and her family. The city was bustling with people, and the grandeur of the event venue overwhelmed her. As she took the stage, Neela's hands trembled, and her heart pounded. But as she began her speech, she remembered all the hours of practice and the support she had received. Her voice wavered at first, but soon she found her rhythm. The words flowed more smoothly, and she spoke with heartfelt emotion. The audience listened attentively, moved by her story and her determination. When Neela finished, there was a moment of silence before the crowd erupted in applause. She had done it. The results were announced a week later, and Neela had won first place in the competition. Her achievement was celebrated by her village, and she was awarded a scholarship to attend an English language course in a nearby town. The scholarship meant that Neela could continue her studies and improve her English even further. With her scholarship, Neela moved to the town and enrolled in an English language course. She made new friends and immersed herself in the language. Her skills improved significantly, and she excelled in her studies. Neela continued to stay in touch with Mira, updating her on her progress and sharing her experiences. As the years went by, Neela graduated from the English course with top honors. She returned to Suryapur, not only as a fluent English speaker but also as an accomplished individual with a vision for her village. Inspired by her own journey, Neela opened a small school in Suryapur, dedicated to providing education to children in the village. The school offered English lessons and other subjects, ensuring that future generations could benefit from the opportunities Neela had worked so hard to achieve. Neela's school became a beacon of hope in the village. Children from Suryapur and neighboring villages came to learn and grow. Neela taught them not only English but also the value of hard work and perseverance. Her story of overcoming adversity and achieving her dreams inspired many. Years later, Neela looked back on her journey with gratitude. From the small girl who dreamed of speaking English to the teacher who empowered others, she had come full circle. Her village had transformed, and she had played a significant role in that change. And so, Neela's story became a legend in Suryapur, a tale of courage, determination, and the power of dreams. She proved that with passion and perseverance, even the most ambitious dreams could be realized, and that the journey of learning and growing never truly ends. In a quaint village named Chandrapur, nestled between sprawling meadows and gentle streams, lived a young girl named Asha. Chandrapur was a peaceful place where life revolved around farming and simple pleasures. Asha's family was modest. Her father was a farmer, and her mother took care of their small home. They had enough to get by, but luxuries were beyond their reach. From a young age, Asha had a deep curiosity about the world beyond her village. Her grandmother often told her tales of faraway places and adventures. Asha's favorite stories were about travelers who spoke English and explored exotic lands. She dreamed of one day being able to speak English fluently and travel to those distant places herself. The village school in Chandrapur taught only in the local language, and English was a subject rarely covered. Asha's family could not afford private tutoring, so she had to rely on whatever resources she could find. She began her English journey by borrowing old books and magazines from the village's tiny library. She spent hours deciphering the unfamiliar words and phrases, often feeling frustrated but never giving up. One day, while Asha was helping her mother at the market, she overheard a conversation between two travelers who were speaking English. She watched them intently, trying to understand their words and their accent. After they left, Asha felt a renewed determination to learn the language. She knew that if she wanted to speak English, she needed to practice more and find someone who could guide her. Asha's chance came when a new family moved into the village. They were from a nearby city and spoke fluent English. The family had a young girl named Priya who was close to Asha's age. Asha gathered her courage and went to meet Priya. She introduced herself and explained her interest in learning English. Priya was friendly and agreed to help Asha. They started meeting after school, and Priya taught Asha basic English phrases and vocabulary. They practiced speaking English through games and conversations. Priya also introduced Asha to English songs and movies, which made learning fun and engaging. Despite her progress, Asha still faced challenges. Her family's financial struggles meant she had limited access to English resources, and she often felt self-conscious speaking English in public. Nevertheless, Priya's support and encouragement helped Asha build her confidence. One day, Priya shared exciting news with Asha. There was an English-speaking competition in a nearby town. The competition invited participants from various villages to deliver speeches in English. Asha's heart raced with excitement and apprehension. She wanted to participate, but was afraid of making mistakes in front of an audience. Priya reassured Asha that it was a great opportunity to practice and improve. With Priya's help, Asha prepared a speech about her village, her dreams, and the importance of learning. They practiced together, focusing on pronunciation and clarity. Asha also wrote a few short stories in English, which Priya reviewed and helped her refine. The day of the competition arrived, and Asha traveled to the town with Priya's family. The town was bustling with activity, and the competition venue was grander than anything Asha had ever seen. As she took the stage, her nerves almost got the best of her. But she remembered Priya's encouragement and the countless hours of practice. Asha began her speech, her voice trembling at first. But as she continued, she gained confidence. The audience listened attentively, moved by her heartfelt story and her courage. When she finished, there was a moment of silence, followed by applause. Asha felt a wave of relief and pride. A week later, the results were announced. Asha had won second place in the competition. The recognition was a huge achievement for her, and she received a certificate and a small scholarship for further English studies. The news was celebrated in Chandrapur, and Asha's family was immensely proud of her accomplishment. With the scholarship, Asha enrolled in an English language course in the nearby city. The course was intense, but Asha was dedicated and worked hard. Her English improved significantly, and she excelled in her studies. Asha made new friends, learned about different cultures, and continued to practice speaking English whenever she could. As she completed her course, Asha's confidence soared. She returned to Chandrapur with newfound knowledge and a sense of accomplishment. Inspired by her own journey, she decided to open a small English learning center in the village. The center provided English lessons to children and adults, helping them improve their language skills and expand their horizons. Asha's English Learning Center became a hub of activity in Chandrapur. The villagers embraced the opportunity to learn, and Asha's efforts made a significant impact. She continued to teach and inspire others, sharing her experiences and encouraging them to pursue their dreams. Years later, Asha's center had helped countless villagers improve their English and open new doors for themselves. Asha had achieved her dream of speaking English fluently and had also made a difference in her community. Her story became a legend in Chandrapur, a testament to the power of determination, hard work, and the impact of a helping hand. And so, Asha's journey from a curious village girl to a confident teacher showed that with perseverance and support, even the most ambitious dreams could come true. Her story inspired many to believe in themselves and strive for their own dreams, no matter where they started. In the remote village of Kalyanpur, situated amid verdant hills and meandering rivers, lived a young girl named Meera. Kalyanpur was known for its breathtaking landscapes and tight-knit community, where life was simple, and every family contributed to the communal spirit of the village. Meera's family was humble. Her father was a carpenter, and her mother worked as a seamstress. Despite their modest means, they were rich in love and kindness. Meera was a dreamer with a heart full of curiosity. Her greatest desire was to learn English, a language she heard about from visiting traders and travelers who spoke of far-off places and exciting adventures. She longed to understand their tales and dreams, imagining herself exploring distant lands and meeting people from different cultures. The village school offered only basic education in their native language, and English was a subject far beyond their reach. Meera knew her family couldn't afford private tutors or additional lessons. Undeterred, she began her self-study journey using old newspapers and scraps of books she found around the village. She practiced writing down English words, trying to mimic the sounds, and used her imagination to piece together their meanings. One rainy afternoon, as Meera was reading by the window, a traveling teacher named Raj came to Kalyanpur. He was on a journey to share knowledge with remote villages and had set up a temporary school in the village community hall. Meera was excited to learn that Raj spoke English fluently and decided to seize this rare opportunity. With a heart full of hope, Meera approached Raj and asked if he could help her learn English. Raj, noticing Meera's earnestness, agreed to give her some basic lessons. They met regularly, and Raj taught Meera essential phrases, pronunciation, and the fundamentals of grammar. Meera absorbed every lesson with enthusiasm, her dream growing closer with each passing day. However, learning English was not without its hurdles. Meera's family faced financial difficulties, and she had to balance her studies with helping her parents at home. Moreover, the village lacked English resources, and Meera often felt frustrated when she struggled to find practice material. Despite these challenges, Raj's encouragement kept her motivated. One day, Raj informed Meera about a regional English essay competition. The competition invited students to write about their dreams and aspirations in English. Meera's heart leaped at the opportunity. She knew this could be a chance to test her skills and showcase her passion. With Raj's guidance, Meera worked diligently on her essay. She wrote about her village, her dreams of learning English, and the importance of education. She poured her heart into the essay, revising it multiple times to ensure it was clear and compelling. Raj provided feedback and helped refine her writing. The day of the competition arrived, and Meera traveled to the nearby town where the event was held. The town was bustling with activity, and the competition venue was a grand hall filled with students from various places. Meera felt a mix of excitement and nervousness as she submitted her essay. Weeks later, the results were announced. Meera had won first place in the competition. Her essay was praised for its sincerity and clarity, and the prize included a scholarship for advanced English studies and a collection of English books. Meera was elated and grateful for the recognition of her hard work. With the scholarship, Meera continued her English education in a city known for its excellent language programs. She immersed herself in her studies, attending classes, reading books, and engaging in conversations with native English speakers. Her English improved rapidly, and she became increasingly confident in her abilities. After completing her advanced studies, Meera returned to Kalyanpur eager to give back to her community. She used her newfound skills and knowledge to open an English learning center in the village. The center provided lessons for children and adults, offering a chance for everyone in Kalyanpur to learn and improve their English. Meera's English Learning Center quickly became a cornerstone of the village. The villagers embraced the opportunity to learn a new language, and Meera's classes were filled with eager students. She taught with passion and dedication, sharing her journey and inspiring others to pursue their dreams. Years passed, and Meera's center continued to thrive. Many villagers improved their English skills, and some even pursued higher education and opportunities beyond the village. Meera's story of perseverance and success became a source of inspiration for the entire community. As Meera looked back on her journey, she felt a deep sense of fulfillment. From a curious girl who dreamed of learning English to a teacher who empowered her village, Meera had realized her dreams and made a lasting impact. Her story was a testament to the power of determination, the importance of education, and the ability to transform one's life and community through hard work and dedication. In the village of Kalyanpur, Meera's legacy lived on as a shining example of how dreams, no matter how distant, can be achieved with passion, support, and unwavering effort.